Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is the 4th snowflake in our 25 Days of Snowflakes. This one I kind of designed off just working with a granny square hexagon shape. And the reason being is because I'm actually working on another project with yarn using this hexagon. And I thought maybe this would make a pretty snowflake. So I just added a little bit of picots and some points at the top. So it's really easy to make. It's 3 rounds, 1, 2, and then this is our 3rd round at the top, or at the outer edge. And you guys can use Red Heart Super Saver white yarn to make this. You can use any yarn you want actually to make this. And you can starch it just like any other one. So this is our 4th block, and you're gonna need our our red heart. Ripped my label, ripped it again. Red Heart classic crochet thread in the size 10. Now I used my 1.75 millimeter hook. I used my size or number 22 needle to weave in these ends. Those are at Walmart. And then a pair of scissors. And I didn't use a stitch marker on this pattern, but it's really easy and it's really pretty. Poke out these ends, these corners. Okay, let's get started. Okay, to get started with our 4th snowflake, we're going to get a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're going to slip stitch to our first chain to form a ring. Okay, so we slip stitch to form a ring. Now we are going to chain 1, and we're going to double crochet into the ring 3 times. So we need 3 doubles. So here's 1, 2, and 3. And now we chain 2. And we're going to repeat that until we have 6 chain 2 spaces. So we have 1. So now we work 3 more doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. So there's 2 chain spaces, so we start over with 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. 1, 2. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we start over with 1, 2, 3 doubles. Chain 2. So there's 4, almost there. 1, 2, 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, so So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Yarn over. 1. 2. Dang it. 3. Chain 2. 1, 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So to finish round 1, we're just going to slip stitch to that first double crochet. Work our slip stitch. I'm going to tighten that just a little. We don't want to close that ring up all the way. Okay, so now to move on to round 2, we are going to chain 1, and we are going to double crochet into that very first double that we slip stitched into. We're going to double crochet into there, and now we're going to double crochet into the next 2. 1 and 2. Now into the chain 2, we're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So 1 double, chain 2, 1 double. And that's what we're going to repeat around. Double into each of the double, into the chain 2, work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So I'm going to let you guys finish that off camera all the way around till we get back to our beginning. And into our chain 2s, we work 1 double, chain 2, 1 double. All right, repeat that around, and I will meet you guys when we get back to where we started. Okay, so I can come back to the beginning, and I've got my little chain 2 to work in right here. So I'm going to work 1 double, chain 2, go right back in there with 1 double. And then I'm going to slip stitch to my very first double. And that's the end of round 2. So this one shows a lot of what the snowflake is going to look like without having to starch it. Okay, so now we move on to the last round, and that is round 3, and we're going to start with a chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the very first double crochet, that same one that we slip stitched into. We're going to work a single crochet right in there. Okay, so now we've worked that single. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to slip stitch into the 4th chain. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So right back into that very first chain that we made, we're going to work a slip stitch. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 1, 2, 3 double crochets until we get to that chain 2 space. I couldn't get my words out, sorry guys. So we're going to work a single and a single into the next 2. And now we're going to single crochet into that chain 2 corner. And now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. slip stitch into the sixth chain. So the very first chain we made, come back down there and slip stitch into that. Chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come back down and slip stitch into that very first chain, which is the 8th chain from our hook. I need to turn my pattern. All right, now we chain 6. 1, 2, oops, daisy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You've got to be kidding me. 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitch into your very first chain or the 6th one from your hook. Okay, now we're going to come down and single crochet right back into that chain 2 space. Okay? All right, now we are going to single crochet into the next 2 doubles. 1 and 2. And then we start the repeat over again. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the 4th chain from our hook, which would be the very first chain. Single crochet into the next double crochet and into the next 2. 1 and 2, and then we're going to single crochet into the chain 2 space, and then we're going to repeat the little, I don't know what you'd call this, the little point. So we chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, slip stitch into our 6th, and now we chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, slip stitch into our 8th, now we chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come back and slip stitch into the 1st or the 6th one, and we come down and single crochet back into the chain 2. Single crochet into our next single, single crochet into our next, or double, I'm sorry, not single. And now we're going to start the repeat again. We're going to work our little nub now again, which is a chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to come back and slip stitch into that very first chain that we just made. Single crochet into the next double, and now we're going to single crochet into the next 2, 1, 2, and then into the chain 2, and then now we're going to start our point again. So you can see this one is really pretty. I like this one. This was one of the easier ones I designed. Started off with just a normal little granny hexagon and went from there. Okay, So to repeat around, we start our chain 6, slip stitch into the 6th, chain 8, slip stitch into the 8th, chain 6, slip stitch into the 6th, come back down there and single crochet into the chain 2, single crochet into the next 2 double, chain 4, slip stitch into the 4th chain or the 1st chain, or the 4th chain from your hook, single crochet into the next 3 doubles, single crochet into your chain 2, and then you repeat that around. So I'm going to repeat that for the next 1, 2, 3, for the next 3, I'll come back right here, for the next 3 chain 2 spaces, and I'll meet you when, right after I work the nub. How about that? I'll meet you when I work our last nub, okay? So I'll be right back. I wasn't even on camera. I'll meet you when we get back to the last nub that will work right here. Okay, so I just finished that last nub, so I'm going to single crochet into the next double, single crochet into the next double, and the next. Now I'm to my chain 2, so I'm going to go into the chain 2 with a single, and now I'm going to work my point, which is chain 6, 4, 5, 6, come down, slip stitch into the very first chain, chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, come down, slip stitch to the very first chain, work my slip stitch, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come down, slip stitch into the very first, get the rest of those chains out of the way, and now I'm going to come down and single crochet back into my chain 2 space, single crochet into the top of this double right here, and now I'm going to slip stitch to the very first single crochet. Right there is a slip stitch, there's a chain 1, and there's the very first single. So I'm going to single crochet, slip stitch right into there, chain 1, pull up loop, and that's it. Yay! That's the 4th snowflake. Now once we starch this will be nice and pretty, but you can see what it'll look like. Okay, so if you are using the let me back you guys up. If you guys are using the ornament hooks, you can go ahead and fasten off and weave in your ends. But if you're going to use the thread for your little hook, go ahead and pull up a long loop, about that long, cut, I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to weave in that center tail before we get started with that loop, because it kind of gets in the way. So I'm going to come around the center, through a couple legs. Now I'm not going to pull this closed. I don't want to close it up. I want to leave it open. Right there is good. So I'm going to cut this. All right, now we're ready to start on this loop. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down on the back of the snowflake, and I'm going to run it through some stitches on the back. Just wherever I can get it. That's good. Okay, so now I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to kind of gauge the length of my loop. All right, so that's how it's going to hang right there. And I like that length. So I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to hold it right there so I don't lose that length. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish weaving in this end. Okay, now cut. And there we go. There's our 4th snowflake. Now we need to starch this before it looks just absolutely gorgeous. But that's it, guys. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And down there in the description box, check out the links to my Instagram, my Facebook group, my Twitter. My email address is down there too. You guys can shoot me an email if you need any help at all. Other than that, that's it, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.